All right. Good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing? Let's do a mic check and let's make sure you guys could hear and see the charts. Let me know how everything sounds on your guys' end. There is a little bit of a delay, so let's see. All good, all good. Man, it's great when it works for the first time, right? The picture's clear, everything's good, everything checks out. It's always a few minutes till everybody gets here, but let's just dive into it and let's just get started. As always, I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. Welcome to Slow Markets. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. We're going to be talking about the live markets. As always, I posted the Topstep risk disclosure. That's not it. Don't go to that one. Whoops. Oof. Let me check. Let me get the correct risk disclosure. I'm not wearing a robe. No, that's not it. What? All right. Well, very good picture quality. Well, thank you. It takes me some time to let's see. Let's go like this. There we go. There's the Topstep risk disclosure in here. So yeah, we're going to be analyzing live markets like we do here on Slow Markets all the time. And we're going to be looking for some overnight trade setups, maybe some trade concepts. Everything I do say is for educational purpose only. And that's why I do post a Topstep risk disclosure here. And I believe it's even in the description somewhere on the website as well. I always make sure I repeat that. So, all right, let's dive into it. If you guys have any questions, type them in the chat. We do have some amazing moderators that will be feeding me any questions that I do miss that they believe is very important. If not, copy and paste and go through. Raji B, brought to you by NyQuil. Yeah, full disclosure, I didn't realize that it wasn't DayQuil. The other day, it was actually an off-brand that had 10% in it. Typically, DayQuil does not have alcohol, and a lot of traders reminded me. But yeah, I don't know where I got it from, but it was for severe cold and flu, and it's helped me a lot. If you guys have not tell, I don't think I would have been able to get through these last few days. Just bad timing, but I am feeling better. It was a really great day for me, for my health wise. Not so much trading. I did take a loss on the Nasdaq today during TopstepTV fast markets, or during the takeover with myself and Rips. Yeah, that was a little bit frustrating, having back-to-back losing days. It's a brand new day. To be honest, I did pay for a couple new combines and did trade some. I did really good in the combines, which was interesting. I was still shorting the market, and we had a really nice sell-off, and practicing good risk management in the combines. I did better in the combines than I did in my live account. But here it is, a new day. This is home for me. Slow markets is where I thrive. Getting ready for bed, about 2 hours before bed. What size combines? Raji B asks. 150K combines, and I pay for them just like everybody else. I don't get any special treatment as much as I try. I pay 150K or $150 for 150K combine, and I purchased 3 of them. Maybe it was out of emotion, but it's better than trying to trade my live account. It's cheaper, and I was able to snap a cold streak. That's an interesting one, David B. And maybe I could cover that tomorrow morning. So yeah, tune in to Topstep Takeover tomorrow morning on maybe like how do we snap a cold streak. Maybe I'll go over it a little bit tonight. But essentially, as hard as it sounds, and maybe it sounds a lot easier than done, right? It's easier said than done, is you just approach it as a brand new day with, a fresh mindset. You don't think about tomorrow or yesterday. You don't think about the losses. And that's really easier said than done, because how do we not think about yesterday? How do we not think about the price action and how you failed and this and that? It's very difficult. So I know there's going to be an aspect tomorrow in my trading, thinking about yesterday and the day before, but I really have to go into tonight, especially tonight, because tonight's the start of the new day. It really is. And go in tonight with a fresh mindset. I do like the aspect that I do trade slow markets, and then Topstep TAKEOVER is fast markets. This is a completely slower pace. It's a different style of trading, and it's almost like a whole new environment. So, tonight is way different. It's a new day, new setup, different markets, new style of trading, and fresh day, right? Fiona Ha, why buy 3? Because we could trade 3 combines. I like to do it in terms of copy trading. I've been doing it for a little bit. As you guys could see, here is the 3 combines that I did get. I got them to the $4,500 today on the sell-off at the end. So, this is a good example of, if I'm not trading the live account, if I've hit my daily loss limit, or if I'm done but I still want to practice, I'll do it in a simulated environment. And the combine is a great simulated environment for me. Maybe you do it in a different one. Maybe you do it in a practice account. But like I said, this is just for me. I'm not recommending it. It's something where it's, if it's $150 per combine. But for me, that's the way to just, I don't get rid of like any of my frustration or emotional trades. Like, I want to continue this. Was it something I did wrong? I am practicing for Topstep Trading League. That is going to be coming in June, and we're going to get a lot more information back on when the team gets back from Las Vegas. Oh, and by the way, guess what? I have some good news for everybody. I'll make you guys a deal. If we could get to, I don't want to put the goal too high because there's only 400 traders here tonight. If we could get to, let's say, 500 likes tonight, then I will share some amazing news, and you guys are going to love it. NV Celsius, what's Topstep Trading League? Topstep Trading League. I'm going to do a brief rundown because it's still very fluid, and the team is down in Vegas, and that's something that they're going to be talking about. I was getting some messages while they're in Vegas, and they went, and it sounds like they did a tour of the place that it's going to be. But essentially, it's going to be a trading league. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the Red Bull events where they do, like, here's teams of 5, and each of the team, they trade a funded account. They're each funded account at the end of a period of time. Maybe their total P&L is added together, and then the winner gets to maybe the top 3, top 2. I'm not sure. Like I said, nothing's solid. This is just kind of what's been floating around in the air. Is the top teams go to Vegas, and they compete on stage in an esports arena, a huge arena, and they compete for a trophy, maybe a prize or some sort. Like I said, it's really fluid. It's exciting. It's fun. I have my team that we're getting ready, myself, Rips, Isaac, and Anonymous, and we're not really sure because nothing's concrete, right? It's going to be very, very fun. I'm excited, and I'm going to be doing that during the New York session. And since it is the New York session, I do need to practice for it, right? And so with me practicing for it, I have to prepare, and this is part of me preparing, dealing with these emotions, practicing on the New York session. And if I do start to do bad on my live account like I did today or earlier on Topstep TakeOver, then this is a way for me to practice, but also practice with a little bit of skin in the game, kind of, because I do have 150K combine. It's $150. I paid for 3 of them, so that's $450. And so it's not like I'm just going in there and trading the rest of the day or some of the New York session like just, oh, I don't care what happens. Yeah, I'm trading with 3 combines, and there's something to it. So it's not just practice, right? And maybe, and I find that it helps me because I'm not just trading it like, oh, I don't care what happens with the market. It's just a practice account. No, there's a little bit behind it, not as much as a live account, right? Where if I was to trade bad, I'll lose like $3,000 daily loss limit on the live account. No, worst case scenario, I trade a little bit bad and I lose $450. I'm not saying it's nothing because that's still a decent amount and I don't want to lose. And it also gives me a chance. If I pass these combines, maybe I have 3 express funded accounts by the time I'm done practicing for Topstep Trading League, and that will give me a way to continue to practice, get into express funded accounts, and then maybe trade those during the New York session and keep my live to my slow markets class and continue to practice. And yeah, maybe I just go do something like that. Not 100% sure. We will see. But let me see. Where are we at with the likes? Sometimes it doesn't refresh for me. Let me see. Like I said, if we get over, what did I say, 500 or 400 likes, I will give you some amazing news for you guys here at Slow Markets that I literally just got from the team in Vegas that messaged me tonight. So if we could get, by the time the stream is over, if we could get to 500 likes, oh, I don't know. I'm saying, let's say 500. I don't know. I don't think I said 300. I think I said 500. Yeah, so if we could get to 500 likes tonight, then I will give you guys the news. If not, then it will have to be another day. So it's really up to you. I know the viewer count's going to continue to go up. But as we do it, let's go ahead and jump into the markets and do some live analysis. And maybe you guys could remind me or remind everybody else. Yeah, I said 500. Okay. Yeah, don't try and fool me. So here's the daily chart on the Nasdaq. I started on the Nasdaq. I started on these higher time frames as always. And you can see this is a daily chart. We only get one candlestick every day. Very simple, very straightforward. And this has been an interesting week, to say the least. We did sell off. We consolidated. We not really even consolidated, right? And sure enough, it was just buy the dip. And today, we just rallied. Like, this was a crazy rally, in my opinion, probably because I had a bearish bias. And I was thinking that maybe we could come down and test these lows and maybe, get to the 18,000 level. But sure enough, we didn't. We just kept rally. We came really close to the all-time highs today. And that was just crazy and interesting. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it. It was just not too much in terms of news, from my opinion. We have non-farm payroll in the morning, and we just kept going up and up and up. Rips is amazing, and he was kind of called it out a little bit. He said, we could see this a crazy rally, and sure enough, that was a beautiful rally today. And so, that being said, we did close up here, and it looks like we're already trading down a little bit below that. And so we have our all-time highs here. We are in a bull market, and the bias is bullish, regardless of what my opinion is, regardless of what anybody else's opinion is. Yeah, that's just the reality of it. And I had a bearish bias today, and I got hammered for it because we're in a bull market, and it's been buy the dip. And as fear or emotions or opinions get into it, it's just buy the dip. That has been the mentality. So let's zoom into an hourly chart. Michael, first time here. Glad to have you with us. As we go through this, like I said, ask questions. And if you have any recommendations, let me know. So here's our day. And you probably heard me say this, and I'll say it again because I heard this the other day, and my grandpa used to tell me this. If it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Sure enough, we're in a bullish market, and it looks like a duck. It looked like a higher low, and we broke, and maybe this could be looked at as a double bottom. And we started to break out today, and guess what? It was quacking like a duck, and sure enough, it was a bullish breakout. And I was, taking some shorts and losing. So that was frustrating. That was one where, yeah, but can ducks trade? What are you doing? You should be in Vegas. There's Sarah Hecker. She's one of the girls in Vegas, over here enjoying the slow markets. Um, yeah. So anyway, where are we at on the likes? We've been rallying up, and I was shorting, and I took those losses, and we kept going up and up and up. You can see this is an hourly chart, and you can see how many candlesticks in a row we had, right? Where just hours, like 1, 2, 3, pretty much all day was rally, just one candlestick, one bearish candlestick, and the rest was just rallying up. We came up to this high level, this pivot point, and sure enough, when I was in my combine account, I was that hard-headed guy that says, you know what, we're at all-time high. There's still no reason to break the all-time highs. I'm going to go ahead and take a short because I have a really good risk-reward. I got in short at, I believe it was around 380. I think it was 350. And I had a 15-point stop loss, and I took this sell-off down to 300. It wasn't in my live. It was just a combine, but that's okay. And then we had this huge sell-off all the way back down to past 200. So, yeah, I don't like when we rally so far up, because then if we did break the all-time highs, we kind of run out of steam. I mean, typically we do. It doesn't mean we can't, because anything can happen in the markets. But what I like in a setup is exactly what's happening, to be honest, is we rally up and we come near the all-time highs, and then we have some type of a pullback, look for some type of consolidation, very much like there's so many analogies that we could use. We could have a springboard or a rubber band or a snake, right? We're just kind of coiling, consolidating, and then if we do get a breakout, we're going to have a lot more momentum, right? Rather than having an already long bullish day of 1.5% and then try and break all-time highs. That's a lot harder, and typically there's a lot less momentum compared to, say, a sell-off, maybe more consolidation. And then if we do rally up, we could have a bigger breakout. There's a lot more move. And maybe a good example is like something like this that happened at the beginning of March, right? We came here, we started to consolidate, we rallied all the way up, and instead of just breaking out, we did have a pullback, and then we had that huge momentum burst. So that is something that I'm going to be looking for. That's something that I like to see, and it gives me a lot more confidence. Very basic support and resistance, right? When we break out, guess what happens? Prior resistance becomes support. And sure enough, that happened again today, after pretty much after the close. And so we can very well see a continuation. And if we do break to all-time highs tomorrow, maybe non-farm payroll, then we could have a lot of momentum. And given that, I would be a lot more confident on a breakout to the all-time highs. Now, that being said, non-farm payroll, I think the market's going to be sitting on their hands until we see that non-farm payroll. And Richard Harris, Dakota, I think sometimes you're too stubborn with your holds. 100%. I could agree with that. And I think there's a confluence, there's a difference between slow markets and fast markets. And transitioning from slow markets to fast markets is different. And I think that's the struggle that I'm running into, Richard, is slow markets. I place these trades, I go to bed, and these trades last like hours and hours. Fast markets, markets are moving a lot faster. Like today, I had one trade where I closed it off for 50 points, and then I had another one. It was almost 100 points, and I think I just held on to it. And I was a bit too stubborn, right? But no one's perfect. I know there's always going to be room for improvement, which is good. And David B, I'm the top 10. I mean, if there's a top 10 and there's a room for improvement, sure, I'd take that. But yeah, when you're transitioning from market to market, whether it's slow markets to fast markets, Asian to London to the New York session, then there's definitely an adjustment, and that's why I'm choosing to practice and that's what I will recommend all the time. Hopefully, I could help traders who are transitioning from the New York session to try and trade slow markets, because that's also a transition, right? To place trades, leave them overnight, and have a trade running while you sleep. That's something that, you're not used to. I mean, you shouldn't be used to it if you trade the New York session, and it could be a little bit difficult. So, maybe I'm able to help you guys with that type of transaction. Miguel, Coach, can you please explain in detail the OCO order? When I place my order, I put the enter price and the target price. Sometime not fill the enter price instead. Okay, I think I know what you mean by that. Is depending on your platform, each platform is different, right? Where you definitely need to make sure which platform you're using, and you should look for an OCO order. Topstep X, NinjaTrader, Quant Tower, every single platform might be a little bit different. For me, I could right click over here on the right hand side, and it says OCO order, and there's a way to activate it. I will definitely recommend Googling it, looking on YouTube. There's instruction. Maybe even go to NinjaTrader's website, but make sure that you're using OCO orders. That's something where I am going to also just repeat all the time, is that get used to your platform, get used to your tools, like whatever platform you're using. Do it on a practice account. Make sure you have that confidence when you're placing trades. Jeff says a Ninja Control Z to activate. I've never used those hotkeys. Yep, it works. I can confirm that. Up on the very, very top right hand side near the X, all the way up here, you would see like a little green thing. But whatever platform you use, go ahead and practice in the simulated environment. Gain that confidence of being able to place these trades, hold the trades overnight, and then do that, right? So I hope that makes sense. Now back to the Nasdaq. So we were getting that consolidation. I'm not going to place a trade. I'm not going to have a trade run overnight with non-farm payroll. With non-farm payroll in the morning. So I'm definitely not going to be placing a trade on the Nasdaq and holding it. If anything, maybe I look for some intermediate trades. That being said, an intermediate trade to me would be something with a little bit tighter of a stop loss, a little bit tighter of a take profit than some of my normal trades. As long as they have really good risk rewards. We're kind of consolidating here on the Nasdaq, and I think we might just consolidate between now and non-farm payroll and get a lot of choppy action like we typically do before news events. I think that's what I'm going to be looking at. We did test this all-time high. Not much going on, right? We have the news. I'm going to be on the Topstep Takeover in the morning. Trading with Travis. You say, I had one micro hold overnight yesterday for 100 points, around 17,940. Amazing. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of traders message me in the Discord saying like how great it's been. Shannon even said, Shannon Godwin, hey, my ES trade worked last night, made 1,000. Yeah, overnight trading is very powerful. In terms of the market's very slow right now, yes, but the market moves a lot between now and the New York session. That's the reality of it. And if you can position yourself consistently to take advantage of some moves that can happen overnight, then good things can happen. You guys seen Rips. He's had a couple good overnight trades, and he's nailed it. He's made great money holding just 1, 2, 3 contracts for an overnight trade. I think that one trade he woke up with like $5,000-$6,000, and it's a great supplement. It's great practice. It's a great alternative if you don't have time available to trade during the New York session, or an addition, right? So on the Nasdaq, we're kind of just consolidating. I'm not seeing too much of a setup, so I'm going to pass there, and I'm going to jump over the Nikkei. The Japanese market. I did miss a trade earlier. like Nasdaq, we had a huge rally today, and kind of was looking at a very similar pattern here on the Nikkei. It's the Japanese market. We had a huge sell-off, just like on the Nasdaq the other day, and we rallied up, we sold off, and we were making a higher low, and then we just started to break out, and the trade would have been a breakout trade. Remember, this is an hourly chart. A breakout trade for just maybe a quick scalp for tonight, for maybe 10, 20 ticks on this type of a trade. And then when we zoom in, I'll show it a little bit better on, say, a 5-minute chart. So here's a 5-minute chart. Let me go ahead and clean it up for you guys a little bit, and I could show you what I'm talking about. So this was pretty much London and then the New York session. We rallied, we kind of consolidated here, and then the Asian session opened up and we did break out. And for me, the trade was to get in on the break or maybe even the retest and place this. Look for 10 to 20 ticks. Nothing very long, just a quick in and out opportunity for maybe $500-$600 on one contract. So definitely something like that. Maybe it sets up again. We're already up 0.5%, and like I said, we do have non-farm payroll tomorrow, and it's going to affect many of the markets, and this one could definitely be this as well. Michael, did you say that your stop loss is sometimes 50 points? Yeah, Michael, sometimes my stop loss is sometimes 50 points. It's just because of position sizing, right? 50 points on a micro is $100. So that's not a big risk. I mean, it sounds big when you say 50 points. It depends on your position size. 50 points on a micro, $100. If you're trading the Nasdaq, 50 points on a mini, if you're trading the Nasdaq, is $1,000. So, yeah, that there's a dramatic difference in that. I'm going to keep an eye on this. Same thing as the Nasdaq. Nikkei's a little bit behind the Nasdaq. So you can see here's the all-time high in Nikkei over here on the top left above me. And if the New York session on the Nasdaq and the U.S. markets is any type of indication, does that mean we could have a nice continuation up here? Maybe test that key psychological level 40,000. Maybe, possibly, like that is, I wouldn't be surprised, right? If this kind of follows the New York session and we have a nice rally up to the 40,000. And there's also, of course, we had this consolidation here when we did sell off. So yeah, it's really small for you guys to see, but hopefully that makes sense. Maybe we just follow the New York session. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm a little bit hesitant to take a trade here in the Nikkei. Like I said, non-farm payroll tomorrow, and sometimes that's just what we have to do. I haven't been taking a lot of trades during slow markets this week. I'm just looking at this, guys. Remember, I'm looking at these markets as well, and I'm going over this analysis as I'm looking to place trades. So sometimes I might be a little bit slow and thinking and processing what I'm looking at. But yeah, I think that trade was to get in on that pullback because this was a good looking breakout. We did have resistance here, 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 and here, and then a little bit here. And that trade was definitely, we broke out, get in at that level when we pulled back, and then look for a continuation. That would give me an option to limit. I mean, that was actually a decent looking trade for a risk reward, where the risk would be the bottom of this. So I'd be risking, maybe my stop loss would be at about maybe 700, maybe 710, somewhere in this area. My entry would have been, I don't know where my entry would have been, right? It's hindsight. So maybe I put a limit order once we broke out. Then I put my limit order down here somewhere. And sometimes I could get a really great position in the Nikkei where I have like 5-10 ticks on my stop loss. And then sometimes I could, and this would give me a great opportunity where a risk reward, like would be something where I enter in here, my stop loss is here, and then my take profit could possibly be here. And so you could visually see how great of a risk reward this could be. Maybe if I get into 2 contracts, I do something like a take profit there and then maybe one here. And so the risk reward on something like this can be, really high, between 4 to 1, maybe even 6 to 7 to 1 sometimes, just depending on the entry and how the market reacts. And I could get really good risk rewards when trades are something similar to this. I mean, you can imagine getting in on something very similar to any one of these big dramatic moves. So if we do get one, that would have been a great opportunity, right? So let me go ahead and let's take a look at crude oil. And here's the daily chart on crude oil. Everybody still knows I'm looking for $80 a barrel. Nothing has changed there. And as I'm transitioning, I just want to make sure, we've got a few more people watching. I'm on the April contract right now in crude. Are you talking about switching contracts? Typically, when you switch contracts, you want to switch to the one that has the most volume. Typically NinjaTrader does it for me. Whenever I log in, it will ask me to do it. But just a reminder, everybody here, I have some great news that I'm seeing in front of me from a message from some of the team at Topstep down in Vegas. And I told everybody, if I get to 500 likes tonight, then I will give everybody the good news. And this good news only applies to the people here in slow markets. Yeah, I'm excited to give it. It's something I've been looking forward to and have been pushing for you guys, and it's beneficial for everybody, all the viewers here. But we have to get to 500. Luckily we got to over 500 viewers, so yeah, we should get there too fast. Not too big of an issue. So yeah, here's the daily chart on crude oil. It's really ugly looking because there hasn't been too great of price action in crude oil. You can see we had this consolidation here on the daily. We did break up, right? And now we're kind of just consolidating here. I still think that we can rally above $80 a barrel, and the challenge is just holding above that, right? Just to rally up above and hold above it. It seems like we did get some news, but essentially I've been wanting to get a better price down here. We might have had that opportunity today and I just missed it. Let's zoom into the hourly chart and see. So here's the hourly chart on crude oil. And it looks like we did have maybe an opportunity and I missed it. We did sell off to 78.01. Excuse me. Man. Still getting over that sickness. 1 second, guys. My gosh. I'm gonna die here on screen in front of you guys. Talking with a dry throat, getting over not feeling good is not the thing. And doctor doesn't order sitting here talking all day and through that. Thank you. Get me some water. Big Al, not getting smoky. Free XFAs. Sweet. No, I'm not smoking weed. I'm red eyes because I'm tired and I'm not feeling good. We're almost at 500 likes. We're getting there. Is that an AI drawing? Yeah, I think it is, Matt. Someone from Discord got it from AI. I wish I can remember. I'd give him a shout out. I have his name saved somewhere. But yeah, that's an AI. Tablespoon of honey. Yeah, I did have that NyQuil that has honey in it, and then maybe some tea with some honey. something to make me start feeling better. To be honest, guys, it's been a lot to do Top Step Takeover, do all my daily responsibilities, and then do slow markets. So there's a lot going on for me, but like I said, I'm starting to feel better. Just getting over this. Vitamin C and take some vitamins, definitely. I'm going out to a nice dinner tonight, though. Gonna have some nice dinner. Treat myself a little bit. Hasbro, I only worked for a couple years in the coal mines. Not dramatic to mess up my lungs. So anyway, let's get back to this. So I did miss possibly an opportunity where I was looking for a pullback in oil to get into a long. That did present itself down here. I didn't take it. I was busy losing money in the Nasdaq. Maybe something sets up. I really want to get into a good trade to the upside in crude oil, where maybe we could do that with a buy stop. Raji, no, it's nothing like Zoolander. Not even close. So one option, this is an hourly chart on oil, crude oil, and one option I'm looking at is maybe a buy stop. If we do start to break above this level, then look to target up at some of these highs. That's something I'm really liking. So if we zoom in, maybe we could get a lot better levels here. And I'm kind of seeing a decent pattern where we have kind of this bullish flag. However, oil likes to have these nice little stop hunts and then rally up. So maybe I just look for a buy stop and see if we do break out, then I get into a long. And now remember, a buy stop is we don't get triggered into a long until we hit this trigger price, and then we do break out. I'm liking that actually right now a whole lot better, because we do have, this is a pretty decent resistance area, and if we do break out, we would need some momentum, and if we break out with momentum, then immediately I think $80 would be the first price target, because we have some good resistance here. So something like this with a stop loss like that, maybe, that actually looks pretty good, to be honest. Stop loss here, maybe here, a good 1-to-1 risk reward on something like this, maybe 2 contracts. Interesting. The blue line algo. I mean, I'm using a blue line, so I don't have to just right click and put the order in, and I have to hear, order submitted, because that's annoying and it gives you guys probably PTSD. So I'm looking at something like this tonight. It makes sense to me, and if we do have a breakout, oil tends to have really good momentum on some breakout trades, especially towards the long. Yeah, that's probably my best trade tonight. I think I might end there in terms of my analysis. Let's open it up to some questions and do some Q&A. This might be a little bit of a shorter stream. We'll see how this goes. We got to 500 likes, everybody. How does SOU tonight affect market tomorrow? What do you mean SOU? Am I missing that acronym? 500? Okay. Well, we got to 500 likes. Actually, I'm going to change it up. What if we get to 600 likes? I'm changing it. 600 likes now. I'm joking. No, well, I'll honor what I said. Yeah. Come on, that's just like the market. Gotta create FOMO. So yeah, I got a message from the Topstep team, and this is something that I've been fighting on and trying to get for everybody who's in my slow markets class. And we all know what I think you guys probably know what this is. You probably know where I'm going, right? It is getting a fire drill. So Yep, that's exactly where we're leading. Not tonight. Now remember, not tonight, guys. I'll make sure I let everybody know. We have to have the team prepared. We have to get everything there. So, yeah, rewarding the traders who are here. So I don't know what it looks like. So I think, yeah, this chat was clean. So now here's the catch, right? I'm not gonna do it just to get views. I'm not gonna do it just to bring the audience. I don't think I want just a fire drill for anybody and just say, you know what, whoever shows up tonight, you get a free reset. No, I don't want that. I want to reward the traders who are here consistently. I told the team, and I'm going to continue to tell them and push them. I'm like, instead of a fire drill, can you give me 100 free resets or X amount of free resets to give away? And I will give it away to the people who are here and the ones that I see. And maybe I have the mods help me give it to the traders who are here consistently and the ones that are being productive and being a good trader and providing good questions and everything like that. So instead of just, hey, here's free crap, to anybody just who shows up, I want to do it to the people who actually are here and the ones that, maybe, yeah. So the true bell-to-bellers, the ones, even if you're not watching Topstep TV on the daytime show, and if you can't always watch it, the traders who are here asking good questions, providing these good questions, for example, and I could say, go ahead and here's maybe a link to put in a list, and I could go through that list with some of the mods and say, okay, these are the people who are in my slow markets pretty consistent. Here are the people who are asking the good trading questions and are not just here just to be a scam and troll and all that stuff. So that's what I'm pushing for. I'm pretty sure I could get it. If not, then I'll just tell them they don't need a free reset. We're not going to do a fire drill if we can't get that. Because I don't want to bring in just people just for the heck of it. I don't. As much as I say I like the likes and I like the viewers because I want this to grow, but I want the slow markets to grow organically, and organically being traders who are here all the time and not just show up for the free stuff. So yeah, I don't know how that looks exactly because the usernames are a lot different on here than it would be somewhere else. But I'm sure there is a way. I'm definitely sure that there is a way. But yeah, that's going to be the way to do it. Definitely, I want to make it a big announcement so that everybody knows that's what I'm doing, and give everybody the opportunity to say, if you haven't joined my slow markets class, then maybe here's an opportunity to watch a couple episodes, couple classes, and if it's something you do like, stay. If it's something you don't, then I don't care if you watch it, to be honest. So I that's the good news. I've been pushing for it for a while, and that's what I want to bring to the table, is helping the traders out the correct way, not just giving free stuff and hope you, yeah. Third day in the combine, what's the best advice? Third day in the combine, and my best advice to you is trade that combine like you're going to be stuck in that combine and you're looking for 3-6 months from now. And you're not going to just try and pass it in a week or a couple weeks. Trade it like it's a live account, and definitely play the long game, right? And yeah, keep your questions coming, guys. I'm going to try and get to as many as I can. Like I said, if I missed it, copy and paste it. And I do have our wonderful mods in here feeding me the questions. Oh, yeah, JQ. Yeah. The mods, I just seen some of the messages mods were checking on me. So, man, surviving. I'm getting through tonight. I'm going to get some much needed sleep tonight, and I'll be ready for tomorrow. Let's get through some of these final questions. Hey, coach, I use Topstep X. Are there any decent strategies I should look into? Big Bobby, are there any decent strategies you should look into? There's no specific strategy that I will ever recommend. If anything, I would focus on risk management because any strategy can be decent if there is good risk management. So definitely focus on the risk management side, and the rest should really take care of itself in the long run. Work on the very basics. Look on simplifying your strategy. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a bunch of indicators on your chart. Keep it simple. Focus on the risk management side, and then focus on your psychology, right? Dakota, can you take second entry trades? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Richard Harris. Can you go over oil levels you were looking at, please? I mean, this is oil. You guys can see oil in front of me, and I've seen some questions asking about gold. Maybe I start bringing up gold more often. If, like I said, if you guys continue to want me to review gold, I will. I don't trade gold as much very often, but I could definitely do it. Mike K, are you a full-time trader? Yes. Trading is one of my primary incomes. I'm going to be honest. I just received an ACH from my trading this week, and I'm using that to pay some of my bills. And I'm using that to probably buy some new clothes this weekend. So yes, trading is one of my primary incomes. It's definitely not 100% my main income. I'm doing futures trading. I'm also doing some longer term options. I also am a director at a supply chain company. So it's not just all one things. I'm a workaholic. Trust me on that. Yeah, so trading is my full-time income. Let me know. Maybe I don't know how to do a poll yet. Maybe I could find a way to do a poll, and then we could see how many traders want me to do gold. I don't trade gold, but if I'm going to look at gold, I might as well trade it. I don't want to stretch my attention out too much in 1 hour. Like I said, 1 hour goes by really quick. I already have the Nasdaq, crude oil, and the Nikkei. If I'm able to add gold, I want to make sure I'm doing this class very efficiently. And the more efficient I could get at this class, the more I could add to this class, right? So here is crude oil, and the levels that I was really looking at. This is a 5-minute chart. Is really basic. I'm bullish. I do believe oil could just continue to push above $80 a barrel and hopefully hold above it. But to be honest, it's just very basic. If we do break out above this level, then I would say the odds for me and the way that I'm looking at it is if we break out, I get triggered in, and maybe we see a continuation to $80 and beyond. My stop loss for me would be somewhere right here. Take profit, something like this. It's a 1-to-1, maybe a little bit worse depending on where you're putting your stop loss and your take profits. So something like that is what I prefer. The other option that I sometimes do is a buy limit. And so this could be another one, right? Where I put a buy limit down here. So if the market does sell off, it triggers me into a long, and then we have that rally. Yeah, both ways that I trade this. Sometimes I don't always get filled down here because if we do just rally up, I'm gonna be frustrated because I want to be and catch that move, but I don't get as good of a risk reward. So it's a give or take, better risk reward or better probabilities, right? Look into the two-legged pullback. It's a very, very, very high probable scalping strategy. The two-legged pullback. That sounds familiar. Maybe you'll have to send me something on Discord explaining it or some type of leak. I don't know. Do you use a trailing stop when you do overnight trades? Q Mendez, I do not personally, but I do know traders who do use a trailing stop and they like it. When I'm sleeping, I can't trail it. So it would have to be some type of automated trailing stop. Can we use OCO orders on Topstep X? I do know that was really recommended. I've been testing Topstep X out a little bit. I don't want to say yes or no without confirming 100% of the time. And I do know I should know a lot more about it because I've been testing out some of them. I haven't been testing out slow markets. It's been a slow transition for me because I've had to do the TopstepTV takeover and then this. But there you go. They are OCO automatically. Nice. Thank you. There you go. Then that makes it amazing. Yes, it's a setting. So the answer is yes. Man, Topstep X just keeps getting better and better the more I hear about it and the more I practice on it. Dakota, look at the second entry that fill at NQ 5 minute. You're going to be shocked on the high win rate. Dakota, look at the second entries that fill. I'm not sure what you mean by that again, Harris. The second entries that fill. You can preset OCOs. Cool. Thank you. I've been on. Coach, I was doing good trading, but then my cat on cancer. What should I do? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Space Shark. Your cat has cancer? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure on that one. How do we learn more about features on Topstep X? Go to our website. You could reach out to some of our great support members. We have Topstep X information on our Discord and on our website. Very cool group out for sure. Interesting. Yeah, Turo, Turo is amazing. They'll be able to provide us. And honestly, if I have any suggestions, you guys have all these great questions about some of these technical sides, maybe technology sides, come to our Discord channel, Topstep Discord, and there's so much great stuff in the Discord and our great mods and support team who could, and there it is. There's the link to the Discord, and they'll be able to answer so many of these questions. Can you show an overnight NQ idea? NV Celsius. I didn't really see any good trade ideas on the Nasdaq, to be honest. If anything, now remember, if anything, now this isn't something that I would look at because we have non-farm payroll, but if we're going to go and test and maybe even make new all-time highs, something very, very basic is just support and resistance. This was a really big candle, right? And now we're starting to even consolidate more. And so maybe use a buy stop. If we do break out, maybe use something like a buy stop up here, maybe a buy stop up here, depending on how aggressive you want to be, and then a stop loss down here. Or, I wouldn't even be able to put a stop loss all the way down here. But I'm just talking about bullish, right? So break out above this hourly candle, or break out above this maybe consolidation, or maybe if you want to be a little more aggressive and put a breakout above that to play to the upside. And let's just say something like this, right? Maybe we're looking at this as a setup, right? A buy stop to where if we do break out, then it will trigger me into a long. This is where my stop loss would be here. And then maybe a take profit towards these highs. Maybe something like this. I would have to zoom into a 5-minute chart and maybe get a little bit more accurate. I'm actually liking this maybe a little more. So maybe something like that if you're bullish and you do believe between now and tomorrow we could see a rally. I wouldn't hold this into non-farm payroll. So definitely if you're awake for non-farm payroll, I don't know. It's just very hard. Maybe something like this or even like this. I'm not sure. I don't feel confident just because we have that non-farm payroll event tomorrow morning. So yeah. If I buy 2 contracts and stop it, do I take one? Yeah, like once again, any questions on Topstep X or like OCO orders, come to our Topstep Discord. There's so much information on there. There's information on our website, on Topstep's website. Stop entries really work. Yes, they do, Todd L. I love them. I mean, it helps me, and it's a huge, right? There's a difference, though, because there's live account stops and then there's simulated environment stops. Live account, you get a bit more slippage. Dakota, do you have anything you do or exercise to stay mentally centered? I'm a boxer. I do boxing. So that's my exercise of choice. And it's a great way to let out some frustration. take it out on the heavy bag. I want to get back into doing some more heavy sparring. Of course, I'm not going to take out my anger on my sparring partner, but that'd be messed up if I have a bad losing day and I just go to the gym and just take it out on some poor guy that's just there for some sparring. But yeah, I'll take it out on like a heavy bag. In terms of an exercise standpoint. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the sweet science, and as much as people do not like Mayweather, I grew up watching Mayweather, and I absolutely love him as a boxer. Now remember, a boxer and as a person outside the ring are two different things, but he is the and my top two favorite boxers. If you are a big fan of boxing, maybe you know this is. Roy Jones Jr., Captain Hook. He was my favorite boxer before Mayweather. So those are my top two: Mayweather and Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. can't be touched. I'm a big boxing fan. And I do play chess. I'm only a 1600. Richard, you saw Mayweather in Vegas? Roy Jones is okay, but he got smoked. Yeah, I mean, he's not. Roy Jones isn't the best. I just liked him and his style, and he was flashy. But Mayweather is, to me, the best. Discipline tips for someone that's hit the $1,000 daily max loss a couple times. If you hit your daily max loss limit, or if you've hit it a couple times, my best tips and my best advice is go to the very smallest size, maybe 1 micro. Practice, get comfortable, and gain your confidence back. And then slowly build up again. Mayweather would run home from the clubs in Vegas. He was conditioned. He's an athlete, right? He's extremely conditioned, and he's amazing. Mayweather is a perfect example of someone who is very dedicated to their craft and their skill, and a pure boxer when it comes to the true art form of the sweet science. And I'm going to be honest, very much like trading, it is something where you just have to put in that hard work and that dedication and practice. And yeah, it's interesting. How can you compare boxing to trading? I don't know. I'm sure there's a way I could find out how to compare and have some great analogies of boxing to trading. What if you get knocked down, you got to get up again? Is that? I always like Fury, but lately been into MMA. I've been getting into MMA myself. More recently, there's one MMA fighter. Oh man, I can't even remember his name. He just lost the title. Very, very raw guy. I mean, every word out of his mouth is like a cuss word. But beside that, in the term of the why I like him as an MMA fighter is because he has a Philly shell style, and he brought it to MMA, and he's been successful with it. So yeah, Sean Strickland. There he is. That's the name. So anyway, we're getting off topic. We're at the end of class. That was a fun end to slow markets. It wasn't much of trading, guys. I'm not seeing much set up tonight. That's okay. We are getting a little bit of a sell-off here in the Nikkei. I still don't want to be a buyer right now. I just want to be hands-off, to be honest. We did sell off right down to this area. Maybe there would be room to the upside, but you know what? I'm solely not too focused on like forcing trades. I'm not seeing anything that's very, very interesting to me tonight. Like I said, maybe that oil trade. Oil, out of all of the markets I've seen so far, maybe this is a good reason why I should take looking at gold, maybe add gold. But so far, oil's been my favorite in terms of a possibility for a setup, and that's looking for longs to break out and to the long side. So, all right, if you guys are going to be joining us for the Top Step Takeover. We will see you in the morning, and I should be on a lot better sleep, and we're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it good tomorrow. Yeah, I'm probably gonna add gold here soon because it looks like there's a lot of people who are wanting it. So take care. If I didn't get to your question, feel free to just reach out to me in Discord, or better yet, join me again on Slow Markets and ask your question. It's a lot easier to answer questions and provide a lot better answer here live and like vocally, right? Rather than through text. Sometimes it's hard to type out a good answer to a question, and it's a lot better through text. And when I am, or not through text, verbally, right? And when I am talking through verbally, it also helps the other traders who are watching that maybe they don't know the exact way to ask a question, and maybe it helps them out. So, all right, guys, take care. I'm going to go get some good food, hopefully, and get some much needed rest. So, enjoy.